Hello, this is Maria. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ontario, Canada. Today is January the 10th. We just dug out from a major snowstorm. Everyone's a bit tired, everyone's a bit cold, but the positive side is Saleabration is on. Well, Saleabration, that's a special time for Stampin' Up! And that's a time where they give away free stuff. Well, not really giveaway, but with a purchase of $60, you can get something from this Saleabration brochure. And what I'm going to do today with this video is I'm going to take one of the stamp sets that are available with this free offer is to make a couple of cards using it. Driving By is the name of the stamp set, and you will find it on page 7 of the brochure. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a partial case, which is kind of copy and selectively make whatever. I never know what these letters stand for, but basically you can copy. If you can't think of something to start with, take a look at some of the examples in the catalogs and the brochures. It'll give you great ideas. So I'm going to case a couple of these, make it a little bit different. Again, Driving By. They're nice. They make nice little cards for children and not so children, if that makes any sense to you. Okay, let's start with the first one. This kind of reminds me of the first Volkswagen camper that my husband and I bought when my daughter was just a baby, and it was a camper, so the top went up, and it was yellow as well, and we called it Big Jed. I don't know, well, I do know why. The license plate said Jed, J-E-B, Jed, J-E-D, Jed. So we called it Big Jed. And so this when I saw this one, it kind of brought back some memories. So we're going to do that. Now, this is a new embossing folder. It's called Hives. It's a 3-day folder. I'm going to use a different one. I'm going to use, and again, it's a new one in the catalog and Gingham. I thought that was kind of cute for the background. So we use that. And notice on the car, I know Volkswagen campers like that are kind of like hippie days, right? So I thought, why not put some of these little loose flower flourishes right on the camper. Okay, I'm a little silly, but it looks kind of cute. So I'm using that. And then another new product that I'm using on the other card is the Iridescent Rhinestones Basic Jewels. And if you'll see that they are, depending upon which way you look at it, they kind of have a different color. So those are some of the new products that I'm using. And there is no die for this, so I'll stamp it, and then what I do is I fussy cut. Fussy cut means I just cut it with a pair of scissors, and I've already gone ahead and done that, but I will color it with you. So let's do, you want to do the camper first? Okay, we'll do the camper first. We'll put the other one aside. And this is Magenta Madness. Oh, don't you just love some of the names of the colors? And Pool Party. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and cut out the camper for you. And I'm going to use Pool Party ink as well. And so I'm going to do tone on tone. You'll see what I mean. And I've already embossed the layer that goes on top of. Now I have a bit of a sore hand, so there's some bruises on the hands. I just thought I would. This is an old saw, by the way. I know this is an idea someone else had, was just to cut the foot off and cut a hole so you can see some of the bruising. That someone suggested that to me, and I thought, okay, why not? Repurpose, right? Reuse. Okay, so this is a regular A2 card. 4.5 by 5 1/4. And then there's a layer on top of that, which is 4 by 5 1/4, which I have embossed with the new Gingham embossing folder. And then a piece of Pool Party, and I have to write this on the back because I don't remember measurements very well. 5 1/4 by 2 3/8, and that'll fit on here. Then there's another piece on the inside, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and we'll stamp the image of the camper on that as well. And there should be a little piece of basic white, which is probably hiding on me for the sentiment. It'll show up, it usually does. Okay, so let's do the stamping on here, the inside and on that. And I've already stamped and cut that one out. And Pool Party, and here's our camper. And tone on tone, I'll stamp up at the top and stamp up at the, okay, make sure I stay on camera. The other day I did a whole video and it was all off camera. Oh, talk about days where you want to scream, right? I hope, okay, that'll give room for that other vent right there. Perfect. Now I'm not going to color those in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to color this one, and I'm going to put it right there. Neat idea? Okay, okay, well, I'm just going to clean this one, and I'm going to, well, why not stamp it with Pool Party on the inside? Okay, there we go. I'll just close this up because I don't want any accidents with the ink pads. Oh, I have enough problems without that. Okay, so let's color the camper. And because I had a yellow one, we'll make it yellow. And I like to start with the lighter color first. And I'll use the nib point. This is Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to use yellow for Daffodil Delight for the body. And I'll use basic gray for the tires. A little bit of black for the center. And then for the muffler, and that I'll do basic gray as well. Now I might do a little bit of red there by the tail light. Yellow. And, you know, if you don't want to color, you don't have to. You can just leave it black and white, and that's fine too. But I really do like to color. Those who know me know I do. I find it very, very relaxing. Except when you're doing a video, and then it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but no, not really. So now I'll just take my dark one. And I'll just do a little bit along the line there. At the door. And I'll just do and just a little bit along the back and along the front. Now, sometimes by the time you're finished, the colors will have blended, but if they haven't, then come back with your lighter and then just blend those colors so that you don't see the lines. Just blend a little bit. Sorry if my table is shaking a little bit. And leave the inner a little bit lighter. So you're just blending it. Sorry if my thumb is in the way. So you're just blending it so that you don't see those lines. And that's basically all I'm going to do. Big Jed. Oh, man, we love that camper. Now, we did have to sell it after expected our third child. It was not roomy enough. There were only 2 seats in the back and a great big space here. There was a stove and there was a fridge. And like there was a big gap in there, not really safe for children. Anyway, we didn't have children when we bought it. So anyway, so basic gray for the tire. Again, you can do, well, if you want to do black, that's fine too. I just find it stark sometimes. And some of you might want to do the inner part a different color. And I'll do the tailgate and the bumper. And that I can do the headlights. I can maybe do a little bit of blue. I did bring some blue, not the right color, but it's blue. There. Now, all right, I have a bit of black here. Make sure that I have, yep. And I'll just do this. I'm going to take my light gray and I'm just going to blend those colors a little bit. There. Doesn't quite look so stark. There. All right. Now you can do some blue on the windows if you want. I'm just going to leave it. And now I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. Put them on the back. And again, you can put on as many as you want. Some say only 1 or 2. I say use as many as you need to keep your image on the paper. Okay. Now we took my daughter, she was only 6 weeks old. We took her camping with Big Jed. It was a bit of a challenge, I must admit, but hey, you do things when you're young that you don't do when you're a little bit older. So let's now put the card together. I won't forget the flowers. No, I don't think so. And we'll get some. Now, whenever you have something that is embossed, it's a good idea to use the liquid glue so that the glue can get in these little spaces. Having said that, I hope my Tombow is going to, oh my goodness, it's cooperating for me. So, and you only need a little bit. You don't need a lot. And now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this as well. Now you'll remember these dimensions, right? Oh, I'll put them at the bottom of the video. By the way, if you want to keep track of when I make my videos, subscribe to the videos and then click on the little bell so that when I post a new video, the little bell will ring and let you know. I'm aiming for 1,000 subscribers so that I can do YouTube Live. I am about 50 subscribers. I need 50, shall we say. So I'm about 950 subscribers, so I need 50 more. So people out there, if you're watching the video and you want to subscribe, you can help me out. Okay, well, you know, in the brochure, it's kind of in the center. You can have it over to one side. I like to have it over to this side a little bit more. Now, in my sample, see, I had it over on the other side. So, you know, you can do well, whatever the mood strikes you. So, let's see if I can find my little piece of paper for the sentiment. And of course, it is disappearing. All right, we'll leave the sentiment for now because I'm sure it's here. And we'll go, let's put the flowers on. All right. Now these flowers, there's 3 sizes. And I'm going to use my little putty end here, pick up the embellishments. So I'm going to use this size. And there are different colors. There's this one, fresh freesia. And I think that's so saffron. Aren't they cute? And there's Highland Heather. Okay, so there's different sizes. So now I think this color, so saffron, I think it's going to disappear with the, but I think that color is good. And the Highland Heather is good. Can use that. And okay, maybe I'll use another small. I did that already before, so we'll use those. What do you think? Okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow up there. I'm going to take just pick up a little bit of Tombow, not too much, and there. Now, you can use a glue dot, but for these little ones, the glue dots are going to be bulky. There, my big jet is dressed up. Okay, now I can put the inside. Let's put these back in here and close the lid so that I don't have flowers all over my workspace, which has happened. What did I spill the other day? Oh my goodness, I have 2 cats and I have their cat food in a big Tupperware container with the lid that is probably a little bit loose. I picked it up and yeah, you're right. All the cat food went just flying all over the floor. And when it's 6 in the morning, it's not necessarily a good time for you to be dealing with spilled cat food. So no, I don't want to deal with spilled flowers on my workspace either. So this is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. Now, I'm not putting any sentiments on the inside. We'll do a sentiment here shortly, but there is the card. Cute and fast, right? Okay, so let's go with the other one. And now we're going to use Pool Party pretty well exclusively. And I'm using the same embossing folder. And this is the card. I brought my trimmer. I have a piece of paper, so I may have to cut some paper for the sentiment. But there we go. So I have cut out my car. And let's do our little panel. Well, the little panel disappeared. Oh, here it is right here. I knew I had it. Okay. So we'll do the same thing we did the last time. Now, by the way, if you ever wonder when you know if the blade on the trimmer needs to be changed, can you see the edge here? That tells you it needs to be changed. And I find that when I'm trimming glitter paper or thick paper, then you'll find that it really dulls your blade very, very quickly. Now, if I had a pair of scissors, I should have. If I haven't, what I can do sometimes is I'll take my scissors, or I have a little sandpaper thingy. But then sometimes you want to leave it because sometimes it looks neat. It all depends, I suppose. All right, so I'll get out my pool party. And this time I'm using the card with the gift on it. And it could be a Christmas one. It could be a birthday one. It could be an anniversary one. And we'll start at the top as far as up as I can. And down at the bottom. And then just... Now, it doesn't look like there's much room there, but yeah, I think that's going to go okay. All right. Close the ink pad. Let's get this colored. Now, a friend of mine had a Volkswagen Beetle and it was red. Now, we can do but I'm going to be a little bit of a renegade and I'm going to make it the same color as the paper, which is Pool Party. No, I'm not. I'm going to make the car red. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do a little bit different than in the sample. That's one nice thing about when you make your own cards. You can decide what color you want. Now, I hope that I stay within the lines. My hand is a wee bit sore. You see, when I get to do YouTube Live, then you guys can yell at me. Not literally, but you can comment and tell me, you're going off camera again, Maria. I'm going to try and do Facebook Live. That's one of my goals for New Year's. Any of you set any revolutions or resolutions for New Year's? I don't usually. I think they're usually the same old, but I've set a goal, and one of them is that I want to do some Facebook Live and YouTube Live videos. I must admit, it scares me, but you know, sometimes you have to face things that scare you. Then you find that it's really not as scary as you thought. Now, a little bit of dark. Now notice I label my Stampin' Blends, because I find that if I have to stop and read the little print, it frustrates me. Okay, a little bit of dark on the lines. And again, you don't have to do this. I do it because I like to do it. And I'll take my light again and just go over where the lines were so that I don't. They're called Stampin' Blends because once you leave them alone, the colors do tend to blend themselves. But sometimes they need a little bit of help. So, okay, now to do the color, seeing as I've colored the car red, okay, I will do the first, I will do a Coastal Cabana. How's that up here? I'm using totally different colors. That, and right underneath the car, there. And green is always a nice color. There. Daffodil Delight. Now the wheels, all of a sudden, a song came into my head from when my kids were in kindergarten and daycare. The wheels on the bus go round and round. I know. Okay, I think maybe I need to get a little bit more rest. But, you know, you can have fun making some cards with this particular stamp set. And like it does for me. Sometimes it just takes you back to an earlier time when you were younger, your kids were little. This time I'll just use darker gray. And I think that's all that I am going to do for the car. It's a little bit different than my sample card, but you know, that's okay. You can do whatever you want with it and have fun. So now I'm going to get some dimensionals. Now I probably should have cut this thing a little bit longer, but you know something, we should have, but I didn't. So we try to make do with what we've got, and I think it'll look fine in the long run. Now, I just had another idea for this. You know the little wobbles, you know, you put on the back and then you wobble it. You know, I think that might be a cute idea for this card too, as a wobble. So, just overlap it a little bit. There. And there we have. I really think that would have been nice as a wobble. All right, let's put this card together. Oops. Now this card is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 to form a top folding card like this. The other card that we made here was a side fold card. Okay. These are nice to stand up. The others stand up nice too. All right, let's put some dimensionals on the back here. I can see I'm going to have to, oh, here is one. I told you I had them. That's one anyway. All right, where's my, this pick tool is the most wonderful tool. Every person, every crafter should have one of these in their possession. It's great for, it's got this pick in for picking things off, for poking holes in it, for putting embellishments on. The other end has putty in it to pick up embellishments, and it unscrews and you can replace it. And you can also put in a brush head, which can be ordered separately. And this end comes out as well, and it has a flat end for lifting things up. It's great, actually. I used it today. I had to open a letter that I had mailed it incorrectly, but the stamp was still good. So I just steamed open the envelope, and I used that. Okay, I probably shouldn't be telling you that. Anyway, that's what I used that for. All right, now this one, again, I did it at this end, and we might just as well do that as well. Okay, now the embellishments, that's these right here. You can see they're pretty colorful. And I'm just going to use the smaller ones. There's tiny, medium, and large. I think the large would be too much for this card. I'll use one there. And maybe a small one. Okay. Now for the sentiment, seeing as I found one of these, I'm going to stamp with this one, just driving by to say hi. There we go. Driving by to say hi. And I want to stamp it towards this end because I want to notch this end. And I'll show you how I'm going to notch it. Oh, okay. Sometimes I surprise myself. And I want it, okay, I'm going to, all right, my favorite way, this by the way is 5/8 of an inch by 2.5 inches. I write it on the back because I know it's going to get put on the card anyway. All right, I use the Tailor Tag Punch. If you have it, that's perfect. And I use this end here. And I just made a little mark with my thumbnail, which tells me that's about where I want it. And just center it here, and oops, went flying. Okay, now I might want to move this little embellishment. And I want to put it right here. Now I can make that a little bit smaller, which I think I will. So I'll just use this again. There. There. And I'm going to put a dimensional at this end and some liquid glue at this end because there's a little bit of a bump up there, but it's flat here. So I'll do that. Here it is. Well, I did it just the other way around, didn't I? All right. If you catch it fast enough, you can change it. I tell you, some days you'd think you should go back to bed and start over again. Well, no, my day hasn't been that bad. Just the snow was a bit difficult to deal with, just getting around because the snow plows and sidewalk plows didn't come out any too early. Okay, now, so there's this card, and I'm just going to put the inside in. Big jig. Where did we go? Here we go. And I will just stamp my little car. And, well, I think he's kind of driving this way. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. And if you want, you can just, you don't want the car to be suspended in air, just draw a little road underneath it for him. And cover this up. And add that to the inside. Now I'll take my little piece of, I'll just cut a little piece for the sentiment for the other card, and then we're done. This one. So a nice, simple sort of, for me, this is simple, okay? So driving by to say hi. So I guess you have to decide, do you like the red one or do you like the pool party one? Oh, you can write down in your comments below what you like. I'll get my trimmer here. And I want 1, 2, okay, 5/8 of an inch. And by 2. I'll make it 2.5. I can always cut it back. And this one is, where did my stamp go? Here it is. Okay, you've got style. That's kind of neat. And I guess with Big Jed, I always thought he had style. I was sad when we had to sell Big Jed, but with a growing family, it was not an appropriate car for us anymore. And then, well, lo and behold, the car we replaced it with was a red Toyota. No, that's not a Toyota, but oh, I must have psychologically been thinking about that. Okay, so again, I want to make the notch at this end. Oh, I've got a mark on that. So if I stamp towards the side here, it's hard to see. I think I got it crooked. I did. I'm going to have to do it on here. Okay. See, I knew immediately that I did it crooked. All right, well, I'm going to put an embellishment. I'm going to steal a little flower and put that on there. Okay. Make another notch. Maybe, oh, I don't have my scissors here. I was going to say if I had a scissors, I would show you how to do it with the scissors. You probably know how to do it. So, I'm just going to trim a little bit off the top. I made that a little bit too wide. And then I will just redo the notch again because it's now off center, as you can see. That's not too bad, but it's not what I want. Okay. That's better. And I'm going to just trim a bit off the end. I know, now I'm getting fussy, right? Right. Guess what I found on the floor? Oh, well. All right, so I think I'll put a small dimensional at this end. And some liquid glue at this end. You've got style. Now, where's my little flowers? I know it's supposed to be odd numbers, but you know something? If you won't tell, I won't tell. You know, maybe I'll use one of these that I hadn't used before. A little bit of Tombow. There. Okay, so that is our cards made with one of the Saleabration stamp sets, Driving By. Again, you can get this free with a $60 order. Anything that you place in the catalog, the new one or the annual catalog, this is one of the free samples. And again, I cased it pretty well from the catalog, which is this one. Okay, there's a lot of lovely freebies in here. There is, okay, that's hello. This is a stamp set, and there's lovely designer paper in there as well. There's an otter, there's rainbows. Anyway, just wanted to show you the Driving On By. And this is the card we made. This is the card, that's the sample, Big Jed. And this is the card we made, and I should say I made. And this is the sample. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these cards. And stay tuned, I will be making more cards. So in the meantime, have a lovely evening and stay safe. Bye now.